Hello and welcome back to our channel. If you're new, welcome. Today we are talking about a fanfiction called Naruto Guardian of Miraculous. Details about the fanfiction will be in the description below. This is definitely going to be like a short video, but I don't care. I don't care. I have to like rant about this genre. I don't even know if that's what I don't know. It's trope, sure. Because I love it, and I feel like it's not enough of it, right? But this is obviously a crossover with Miraculous. Naruto steals the scroll, but instead of being, like, uh, I think he steals both, but like instead of being the way this trope typically goes is like he steals scroll, but instead of the original scroll you saw in canon, it's this, and it ends up whatever with this power, this, you know. So he ends up stealing scroll that contain the miracle box, right, and all the and the grimoire. It also has like the grimoire in it, right? Steals it. He ends up stealing it. He's worthy because add that system to it, but I fail safe to it. So it opens for him, and Tiki comes out, right? She explains it. It's like she gives him kind of a quick overview of the miraculous and like her, you know, her miraculous, just so he gets the gist of it, right? Because on a time crunch right now. So he ends up putting on, and this is his main one, obviously. So he ends up putting on the earrings. So he ends up with the Ladybug Miraculous. And they did hint like in the because it's only 3 chapters, and then it was like never updated again. But but like in the second chapter when he's like learning about all of this, like all of the miraculous and everything, on all their powers and like the black cat. And it's like, why does only black cat only have one power? It's like, well, it only has one power for now, right? And how the miraculous aren't really used to chakra, so it's taking some time to get used to that. But the more chakra, like shadow clones, the more he uses that, the more it kind of trains the timer on her earrings. And I love it so much. Just the the idea of it, right? So he obviously it goes like in canon, like he passes. He just now has like the miraculous, right? And he's the guardian of it, and he does take this serious. Why wouldn't he? Um, like these are technically like he's technically his new friends now and everything, and to have him fall into like the wrong people's hands, it's like devastating for everyone involved. But I love how like because he's never had anyone with him, right? Now he has Tiki guiding him, right? So this is Naruto, who's normally like just bounced around all over the place, just every which way, and now has Tiki kind of guiding him down like it's like, okay, well, let's, like how like she did, for Marinette, except I feel like for Marinette it's more like in social situations. Because listen, sure, she's not an orphan. Listen, she's not an orphan that was beaten in the streets, so she's fine, okay. But for Naruto, who basically had no one other than like occasionally, okay, he had the Hokage, but like he had no one at all, right? And so for him to, have like Tiki to guide him, to be there for him, and to um, train with him, because it's why I wouldn't say he did like learns it, but he just more because Naruto was already behind in classes, so this is more like him playing catch up, and Tiki's helping him, learn and to balance with chakra, right? So this is, and it's also kind of works for her because again, the miraculous aren't really used to chakra, so it's like a learning curve for both of them of how much chakra can he really use before it ends up spending his timer, right? So he ends up learning how to walk on trees perfectly fine. Walking on water, not so much. But he ends up playing catch up and then some more, right? He's stuck in a team, with Sakura and Sasuke. That's never changed. None of this has ever changed. He's just grown a bit more, especially with Tiki, and so he loves being, the guardian, helping them and learning his powers. Not that he'll ever say that. The cover story that him, the Hokage, because he knows, of course, that is that Tiki is like a summon, which is why she just kind of always hangs out in his pocket. And I was kind of like, where are they gonna go with this? Like, just have her out 24/7. But I guess that'd be pretty dangerous just to explain, like, yeah, magic jewelry, you could have one too. Because Tiki, Naruto already knows at this point. It's like they're playing Miraculous, so you can give them out to your friends when needed, but you should only ever do that to people you trust. And he doesn't even trust Sakura or Sasuke yet, right? Not at all. So he's even though they're a team, keeping that to himself right now, right? They just literally became a team. And so so Tiki stays in his pocket until it gets time to come out, like for him to transform. So I guess it does kind of like, I guess, look like something, but like he does like no hand sign. But I guess it's in the middle of a battle. I'm not paying attention. I'm trying to survive. I'm not gonna pay attention if he did hand signs for that or not. But um she stays hidden, and the first time she comes out and like all of them see it is obviously during the bell test where Sasuke, Sakura, they dip. He just stays there. He's like, yeah, I like how he does, because of Tiki's influence, he does think things through a lot more, right? It's still like, ugh, and he has to anyway because of Lucky Charm. Listen, give you hints, but if you're not gonna listen to it, what is it? It's the point of it, right? Give you hints and be like, oh, this, but if you ignore them, like, I mean, I don't know, it can't tell you what to do. So it that was the first time he ever used it when he transformed, right? Because he didn't really see a point in hiding, right? Because it's like, okay, you're literally a Jonin, like there's no point in hiding. So I'm just gonna have to fight you head on. It's like very him. So he transforms and he's able to keep up with, he's able to keep up with Kakashi, right? And because the Miraculous does enhance your strength, your speed, all of that. So he swings his yo-yo around, like, so he's able to keep up decently, right? So that's when, at one point, Kasha brings up the book, because it's not like he's trying very hard, but it's still like he's the whisperer. And it's like, oh, okay, right? So that's when he uses Lucky Charm, and he gets the magazine. He's like, what the? This is his first time kind of like using it too, so he's like, what is this? He's like, what do I do with this? He's like, I have to go. So he ends up swinging away while Kakashi goes looks for the other two. So he's like reading the book, and it's like a detailed book of how to make ramen. And he's looking at this, it's like, how would, like, what does that have to do anything? It's like, and you would need like help to make this. And that's where he gets it, because his like lucky vision did light up when he saw their lunch boxes. Clearly it's like, and in the magazine, clearly like showing recipe that you would need help to make. It's like, this is a team exercise. He needs help. So he goes off, of course rejected, right? Because Sakura's like, no, I want to help Sasuke. Sasuke wants to go out alone. And he's like, I hate this. He's frustrated. He's like, oh my God. And so timer's up. And Sakura's the one who's actually tied to the tree or whatever it was. She's the one actually tied up. And Kakashi's, he's like, technically, you two failed. It's like, Naruto was the only one who understood the assignment. And he got that from reading a magazine about ramen. It's like, that's how he understood it. And obviously they pass, kind of goes like in canon, right? Beats, it's just soccer this time. So it ends up figuring their lunches. They end up passing, they celebrate. That's when, at this point, they do ask Naruto, though, like, what is, like, this is where he lies, like, oh no, it's, they're covered, because they're covered, it's like, it's a summon. It's like, anyway, about to each charm, bye now. But they clearly, like, don't believe him, but, no need to press for it, so they end up leaving. So he just ends up leaving, and Kakashi, like, at no point, because they do continue, they ask later, and because he just says, oh, it was a summon that Uruka gave me, like, for it's like a graduation present. Now, Kakashi doesn't ask, but that's probably because he had already gone to the Hokage. Because after the first meeting where he saw that, he was like, I should ask him what's going on. So he probably already knows and just isn't pressing about it. And then they go to the bridge, right? This is the bridge building arc. So this is where they're finally leaving. And the first one knows that Tiki again in his pocket. So he's just casually talking to her in his pocket. And again, it's supposed to be something. It's supposed to be a secret. So like Sakura, like even it's like, who are you talking to? Like, no one. Anyway, it's like no one. But she notices the puddle, and she's the one to tell Naruto. It's like it's too hot for that. Like it's weird. Like that puddle shouldn't be there. And so he kind of like thinks about it. And it's like, yeah, you're right. And so that's where he kind of knows this. Kakashi's also like, okay, so he also already knows. So Naruto is already in the know. Like, oh, already knows what's up. Like, what's up. Then we get the first fight between Zabuza. Jesus Christ, I was going to say cow. I was literally about to say cow. I would still be right, but the first fight, and it goes kind of a disaster. But no, they end up Naruto ends up transforming again because Kakashi's trapped. They need to free him, so he ends up transforming again. So summons his lucky charm, and it's like a fire extinguisher and red dust. Sakura's like, how the hell is that supposed to help us? He's like, shut up, let me think for a second, because obviously this doesn't look like it's supposed to help. He knows this, but at this point, just go with it. He knows the lucky charm just kind of gives you a hint of what you're supposed to do. So they end up doing it. The red dust, I think, was like, it created an explosion. It's fine. It's like it created an explosion. So he's kind of fine. They end up feeding him. And this is where they really start to question, or well, Sasuke really starts to question and say, there's no way that's a summon, like that was given to you. And it's like, because like he doesn't trust him. He's not gonna tell him, like, yeah, I'm the guardian magic jewelry. So what, you can steal? Absolutely not. But before like he could really press the alarm, Kakashi passed out. So they have to take him. So no more questions. And then that's where it ends. Because again, it's only 3 chapters. And then it was literally never updated again. And I was so upset by it because I really love the concept. Okay. Because now that part's done, my rant. Okay. Because I love the concept of, because this kind of sent me down a rabbit hole of like, what other kind of crossovers would there be of like Naruto getting the scroll, but instead of the Shadow Clone, it was this, right? Which led me to, I've only ever found one Miraculous, which is this one, and that's it. And I'm so upset because it's such a good concept of like Tiki being there for Naruto, guiding him. Like he's still his like usual all over the place self who's like charging head first, but Tiki's want to make him kind of stop and slow down. Like, okay, we need to think this through for a second, right? Like, let's just calm down. I just love the idea of Naruto just having, the Kwamis and finally like having someone or multiple people, Kwamis there for him, right? Having people be in his corner, kind of like in Miracle Hero, right? Which is Izuku having the Miraculous. It's like he has people like who care for him are in his corner, right? And they're a little chaotic and a little out there, but they care for him, right? Especially just more, it's just like, oh, he's the new guardian, right? And so I want that for Naruto, especially since he's like, oh my god, how old is he when it starts? Oh my Jesus, I forgot. It's got to be like 8 or something, right? Because at least with Izuku, and that fanfiction, my guy's like a teenager, so it's fine, okay? 13, 14. I mean, still, but still. This is like an 8-year-old. All right, here's a knife. Go kill some people. Like, but so to have that moral support that he didn't have then is like so like the growth of that, because he's still, he would still very much be Naruto. Charging head first, ask questions later, most of the time never, right? It's just, it is what it is. And so to have the coins ground and be like, let's stop for a second, let's think this through, or at least some of them. Some of them would definitely be like, yeah, let's do it. Let's just go for it. Do it. Definitely encouraging not so to have it, but it would be the idea of it. And then sharing with the people he really trusted. Ooh, I can't. It just, but that led me down the rabbit hole of looking up other, like, oh, Naruto gets this scroll instead of that one, right? So another one I found is him finding the heart of Kanchikor. Oh my god, I don't remember what it's called now. But it's from Witch. If you haven't seen Witch, why go watch it? But he instead of it, he has the heart, and it's a one shot, so I can't say it was like a challenge, part of a challenge, so I can't say that it was interrupted again. I just wish it was expanded on. I guess it's really, but he ends up finding a heart of Cantercore, and he ends up meeting, stuck into this kind of. It's really his head, right? And it's not looking all that great. And he's like, ooh, it's like, yeah, that's what your head looks like, my guy. This is your mentality, right? And so he meets the other guardians, and which is Will, Irma, Cornelia, all of them. He meets them, and it's like, like have the heart, like you're worthy now. Clearly, like and I'm like, I cannot wait. Like, I'm gonna give him one shot. I didn't even realize it until I was done reading it. And I'm like, you can't be serious, right? But he ends up taking out, which surprised me because I thought, okay, so he would have the heart of Cantercore and Kurama. So I was like, so he would have both of them. Nope, because I guess technically, sure, Kurama like in this one kind of is like this evil that needed to be erased from the world, but it couldn't, so they sealed it instead, which is in Naruto. Fantastic. So he ended up using the heart of Kenchikor to purify, completely removing Kurama. So now his headspace looks a little better. Fantastic. And now, him using facing off, because again, this is where he stole the scroll. He's protecting Uruka and facing off whatever his name is, I forgot now. He uses the heart of Kenchikori transformed, and then it also has a side effect of also turning him into a girl. I don't know if it's just like when he transforms or if that's just like a permanent thing. I just found it funny, but that's what I want more. Is there have been like, okay, there are dozens of them, right? Card captor Sakura where he finds them, but they're all like they all kind of start the same, and I get it, okay, because that's how Sakura's journey was. She lost the cards and had to go on a journey to find him till they become her cards. I get it, okay. I know. I literally read like a My Hero Academia, like this was like forever ago, years ago, like where Shoto had the cards. But we skipped that part where he lost the cards and had to regather them. We skipped that part where he's fighting them. So we start off in school, where he's like in UA with the cards. All right, we already start off with that. So I was like, I kind of wish it was like that for Naruto, but all of them, which again, fine, but like I get it. All of them have Naruto just kind of go on that journey, which is interesting to see. Like in Land of the Waves, he might find one or two cards. It's like, how are you able to explain this away to them? I don't worry. I was just fighting water. Like what are you explaining to them right at that point? Like there's nothing to explain, but so all of them kind of started that where he has a card throughout the entire journey. I kind of wanted them to just skip it, right? He that already has all the cards, or he already went on that journey, right? And now we're just now starting canon, right? With him with his cards, his staff. And he's like, I'm prepared. I'm ready to go. I've already fought my cards. I've got this, right? There was like one fanfiction I read where he had slash shield keys. Found family in that one. Perfect. Like the spirit, like his friend, like basically his family at this point. I love it, right? Especially since why did I immediately forget her name? Oh my god, the mermaid. It's the mermaid, okay. She Aquarius. She takes on more of like a motherly figure. Like she's kind of like a little bit like Naruto kind of grows on her, so she's like, oh, you really are alone, huh? Like alone, and everyone here clearly very much wants you dead, like clearly. So she, it grows on her. It's like, oh, okay. So, but he ends up finding more, like on their journey to Land of Waves. He sees that the old man has keys, just like he's gonna sell them, right? He just has them on him, like in their jade. And Naruto instantly recognizes them as like, oh, there's such keys. Like, I want those keys. How much are those keys? He's like, I was gonna sell them. Like, I'll give it to you if you keep me alive. He's like, deal, right? So he's immediately like, he can recognize them, and he's like, he's building his arm. The first thing that person, because like the first time he showed off was like during the bell exercise. Obviously, he summoned a cow, and then he summoned a like, oh my god, is that a cow? What's happening right now? Then he summoned Aquarius, completely washed everyone away. He's like, Kakashi's just like, what's happening right now? Was that a cow? Was that a mermaid? What's going on? Like he is legitimately questioning his sanity the entire time because he's just like, I don't I don't know what's happening right now. This wasn't in the reports. What's going on? Like he's like, but they kind of get used to it. I don't know. I want to say kind of, right? There was one where again, I had like two chapters and never ever did it again, where it was like Bakugan. First off, haven't seen that in forever. Jesus. But where Naruto has the back, it just becomes a battle brawler. Like he has the Bakugan, and he's like, sweet. And it also kind of hints that he might have to face others, right? Because the other side, the darker side, whatever, blah blah, face off. So he might have to battle against other brawlers, right? Because they're not using them for not so great purposes. But for now, in Konoha, Naruto's kind of like the only one with them, and no one else knows what they are because they look like plastic little toys. He just carries them. It's like, yes, that's what they are. Totally, definitely don't speak. There's like a dozen and one, I think, with Pokemon. Like, it's just the idea he finds this girl instead of, and I love it. I want it, but there's never okay. There's never that many in the ones that I'm like, ooh, okay, this would be interesting, and then there's like one or two fan figures of it. And most of the time, for it doesn't matter what, it's just like all of them are like, okay, here's like 5 chapters of it. It was never updated again. I like it might as well. I'll go back and reread it, obviously, just cause. But I'm like, I just want this, I just want someone, to be able to make a fan fiction of Naruto finding a completely different scroll and getting a completely different power than the shadow clone. Anyway, now that my rant is over, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.